We are just a little over a month away until the launch of the PlayStation 5, and you want to know what's interesting? The launch lineup. Is it a success? Is it good? Is it bad? That's really what I want to dissect today, and in particular, I want to compare the PlayStation 5 launch titles to the PlayStation 4 launch titles. We'll probably end up doing this for other PlayStation platforms and comparing it to PlayStation 5's launch lineup. At this point, PS5's launch lineup as well. We're in the pandemic era. Any week, a game can be delayed into early 2021. You never know what's gonna happen, but as of the recording of this video, this is what we know for launch. So we'll be taking a look at the PS5 launch lineup, PS4 launch lineup, decide which one is better. And there is an interesting wrinkle to the PlayStation 5 launch of this year, because last year when a first-party title was released by Sony on the PlayStation 4, more often than not, it wasn't a cross-generation title. This generation, Sony is changing things up, even for games that aren't going to be out for the foreseeable future. A Horizon Forbidden West, that is going to be a cross-generation title, so it's not only Microsoft that's employing this tactic of releasing games on PS4 and PS5, Sony is absolutely going to do it too. Sony at the same time are releasing PS5 exclusive titles, so that does entice the launch lineup a little bit more. But your mileage may vary on how you weigh a cross-generational title that's gonna be a part of the PlayStation 5's launch versus a hard exclusive. I don't think a cross-generational title is as great as a hard exclusive. However, I also have faith in Sony that for a cross-gen title, the PlayStation 5 version is going to be optimized and utilize a lot of the PlayStation 5's power, so that is something to note. With that being said, I've broken up the games into a couple different categories, so we'll start with PlayStation 5, and we'll start off with the next-gen PS5 exclusives, console exclusives, I should say. First of all, we have Demon's Souls. I think the majority of people would agree that that is absolutely the star title for the launch. That is the game that's probably going to sell people on the console. If you need a game to sell you on the PlayStation 5 and you're just not buying it on the hype of it being a new console, Demon's Souls is the game that's going to push people over the edge in a lot of instances. Especially for those people that are hardcore Souls fans. I mean, I know how they are. When a Souls game comes out, they lose their absolute minds and they play that game for hours and hours, weeks on end, and they put an obscene amount of hours. They play through the game multiple times. I'm not quite that, crazy into Souls, but I love Demon's Souls back in 09, and do I want to play it again? Remade by Bluepoint Games? Hell yeah, I'm stoked for this one, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are more excited for this one than even me, so I give that one a lot of credit. Next up, we have Godfall, which is being done by Epic Games and Counterplay Games, I believe. Godfall is a PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive. Looks pretty good. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are interested in it. I kind of have some hope that the game will end up surprising a lot of people, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of buzz to the game at this point, but it is one that I wanted to mention. Looks like a cool action game. These action looter titles, I just don't know how much more we have in the market for them because there's a lot of games like this, but we'll see how this one turns out. Hopefully it ends up being pretty good, but it is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive. And we have Destruction AllStars, which is being done by Lucid Games, another one of those PlayStation 5 titles that's not getting a lot of buzz. This is a first-party Sony published title, and it looks pretty cool as a vehicular combat title. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be the second coming and have the enjoyability factor of a Twisted Metal or something like that. Definitely a different style of game, but when you think about vehicular combat and you think of Sony, I mean, what else do you really think of? I think Twisted Metal is the game that really does fit the bill on that description. However, can Destruction AllStars, live up to that expectation and fill the void of Twisted Metal? I don't know about that, but I do have some expectations for this game. I think Lucid Games is going to do a pretty good job with the title. And they actually have a track record of working on some interesting titles. Need for Speed Payback, co-developed with Ghost Games. You have Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories for a variety of different platforms, really just worked on the porting. Goat Simulator working on the porting for that. So it'll be interesting to see if they can deliver with a brand new IP in a game like this. But just inherently it being a PlayStation 5 launch title and it being a hard exclusive, this is one that's going to get quite a bit of buzz and quite a bit of attention given the stature of the development studio and the fact that, it's just going to get buzz because it's there. So this is an opportunity for them to deliver something great. Also, lastly, Astro's Playroom is going to be a launch title that is installed to every PlayStation 5 right out of the box, so you can have that as well. That's just a more smaller title. We have a PlayStation 4 comparison point for that one as well, which we'll get to later. Alright, now the second category of games, which is a little bit interesting. First-party cross-generation titles, which we do have a couple of them. First of all, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is the big one. I think a lot of people expected this one to be a PlayStation 5 hard exclusive. However, it is a cross-gen title. I'm still excited for it. Really looks like Insomniac is going to utilize a lot of the PlayStation 5's feature when they do release Miles Morales, and the PlayStation 4 version is going to be a lower-end version of the game. Obviously, it's going to be completely playable and things of that nature, but the PlayStation 5 version is definitely going to be something that's a little bit more, you know, up to modern standards as we head into next gen. But that's going to be a big seller as well, man. Just having Spider-Man as a part of your marketing ability, that's huge. Just having Spider-Man as a character and an IP there for the launch, I mean, yeah, people will rag on the fact that it's a cross-generation release, but the fact is, they can put Spider-Man in those commercials. They can put Spider-Man on the billboards. They can put Spider-Man when you walk into your local store all over the banners and things like that. That's a big deal, and that's going to get casuals really, really invested into the console right out of the gate. Need I pull up the Spider-Man sales numbers on the PlayStation 4? I don't think I do. You guys know that game did monster sales numbers, so I definitely understand why Sony is releasing this on both platforms and why they are gung-ho about promoting this as one of those marquee launch lineups, or launch titles, I should say, because while Demon's Souls, for me, that gets me more excited because I know it's a hard exclusive and it's a brand new game instead of a standalone expansion. Well, quote-unquote brand new game. You get the idea. It's a full-on remake. When it's Bluepoint, I pretty much consider it a new game. But Miles Morales is a standalone expansion, but the fact of the matter is, you're going to have Spider-Man on your promotional material. That is a big deal. And also, with that, if you do decide to buy the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, you will get Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. I see a lot of controversy for Peter Parker's redesign. You know, I don't really care too much about it, but I can understand why people were a little bit off-put. However, some of the graphical improvements are pretty ridiculous, so that is going to be brought up to PlayStation 5 standards. And lastly, another notable, you know, marquee IP, not as big as Spider-Man, but Sackboy: A Big Adventure is going to be there. Sackboy is an IP and a character that a lot of people have fond memories over, so I think, again, for promotional sakes, that's a big deal when you talk about creating banners that draw people in, creating high-quality commercials. Having Sackboy, having Spider-Man, that's a big deal from a promotional standpoint. And Sackboy: A Big Adventure looks like a pretty fun platform. I think that game's going to surprise a lot of people. I don't think it has a ton of buzz right now. Little Big Planet has kind of gone to the wayside after Little Big Planet 3, but Sackboy as an IP I still think has stuff to offer, and, you know, as a character definitely can be implemented into a lot of games, and we'll see how that turns out with Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Okay, lastly, I do want to go over the third-party cross-gen titles. We're going to go over this really, really quickly since these titles are pretty self-explanatory. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, Dirt 5, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I think that's a pretty big deal to have on launch day, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, that does include the Virgil DLC, digital only as of right now, $39.99, I think that's pretty good. Fortnite, I mean, make that of what you will. The Pathless, which looks awesome, Just Dance 2021, Maneater upgrade, NBA 2K21 has been confirmed, and then Observer System Redux. So there you have it. That's the PlayStation 5 lineup as of now. Remember, pandemic era, anything can happen, something can get delayed, or something might even get added to launch. That's how crazy these times we live in are. But as of right now, that's what we got. Alright, now let's go and have a blast from the past. PlayStation 4 launch lineup. We're going back to 2013. I bought a PlayStation 4 at launch. I got my PS4. I got 10 McChickens from McDonald's, and boy, oh boy, I had a good time with that. Have some fond memories with the PS4 launch lineup. So, first-party PS4 exclusives, and let's talk about this right away. Delays are a thing back then. In the pandemic era, even more so. Drive Club was scheduled to be a launch title for PlayStation 4, and it ultimately got delayed, and it got delayed for like a year. So, I don't expect anything crazy like that to happen with the PS5 launch, but you never know, a delay can happen just like that, especially in the times we live in. So first-party PS4 exclusives, let's talk about it. Killzone Shadowfall. This was a huge launch title because this was the game that, from a technical standpoint, just slapped everyone in the face and told us, okay, this is next generation. Killzone Shadowfall looks incredible. Even to this day, visually, it is one of the best games you'll ever play. The only issue is the game itself is not very good. Obviously, we can't assess the PlayStation 5 launch lineup from a quality standpoint, so is it fair to assess the PS4 launch lineup from a quality standpoint? I don't know, but I have pretty big confidence that the Demon's Souls remake is gonna be awesome. I have pretty big confidence that Miles Morales is gonna be awesome. And I don't know, Killzone Shadowfall, I had confidence in it, But man, was it a good game? Yeah, but coming off of Killzone 2 and 3, those games were incredible first-person shooters. Shadowfall had an interesting campaign, but the multiplayer was just and that really hurt the experience for me, but that was a big deal to have that. Knack was also kind of a big deal, but boy oh boy was Knack a disappointment. My god, a lot of people saw this game as like the breakout platformer, or had potential to be the breakout platformer for Sony, and let's just say it was anything but. If you want to talk about a game that is the epitome of mediocrity, give it to Knack in terms of platformers. And lastly, we have Resogun, which was also on PlayStation 3. That one was, of course, done by Housemarque, and that was a pretty good game, really embodied the Housemarque traditional gameplay elements. But Resogun definitely wasn't one that sold a lot of people on the PlayStation 4. I mean, it's Resogun, it's a downloadable title, and it was a PlayStation Plus freebie, but a lot of the particle effects looked great on the PS4, so that is something to note. And lastly, the Playroom was installed on every PS4 out of the box as well, so that kind of is the Astrobot of the PlayStation 4. Lastly, I also do want to take a look at the third-party PS4 titles. The quantity here is definitely a lot more than the PlayStation 5. However, a lot of these, again, third-party titles, they just kind of come out of nowhere, so we could definitely see the PS5's one, the launch lineup, get a little bit flooded out, or fleshed out, I should say. But let's go over it. Angry Birds Star Wars, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which ended up being my most played game out of the launch. Battlefield 4, Blacklight Retribution, free-to-play title. Call of Duty Ghosts, Contrast, DC Universe Online, FIFA 14, Flower, Injustice Gods Among Us, Just Dance 2014, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Madden 25, NBA 2K14, NBA Live 14, yes, we needed 2 NBA games. NFS Rivals, that's Need for Speed, Skylanders, Swap Force, Sound Shapes, Super Motherload, Trine 2, and Warframe, again, another free-to-play title. So, third-party lineup definitely more fleshed out, but man, let's just call it what it is. I think the PlayStation 5 launch lineup is worlds better than the PlayStation 4 launch lineup. Fingers crossed that we don't have any delays. That would be so unfortunate. But look, Demon's Souls Remake, I don't know, maybe I have, you know, hindsight is 2020, and Killzone Shadowfall being a disappointment definitely makes me look back at this and be like, alright, the launch isn't that great, but come on. Is Demon's Souls Remake gonna be bad? I think there is like a 0.01% chance that this game is bad or even mediocre. I think it's going to be great. Look at Bluepoint's track record. I have faith in them. Demon's Souls itself was already an amazing game. I think that's great. Godfall, even if you're not excited about it, hey, that's just another exclusive on the launch lineup. Destruction All-Stars could surprise us, but even if those games are mediocre, I mean, they'll be Knack level. Is that really that bad? You just have more games a part of the lineup. Then first-party cross-gen titles. I still value these games. Spider-Man Miles Morales is huge. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, there's going to be a lot of people that want to go back and play that as well with the DLC. Sackboy, A Big Adventure, I think that's awesome. And then you have all the third-party titles as well, which, again, you have Assassin's Creed Valhalla versus Assassin's Creed 4. A lot of them kind of cancel each other out. Watch Dogs Legion, you know, all that stuff. The sports games, those kind of cancel each other out. But yeah, this one definitely giving it to the PlayStation 5. I think the PlayStation 5 has the way better launch lineup. And really, retroactively, you look at the PlayStation 4, its games are amazing. The exclusive lineup now is amazing, but I remember that console at launch, and boy, oh boy, that launch lineup was not pretty. It was not very good, where I was reduced to playing Assassin's Creed 4 and Battlefield 4 the entire time. Am I going to be playing games that are available on the PS4, on the PlayStation 5 as well? Absolutely, but I am going to be playing a lot of Demon's Souls. I'm definitely going to try out Godfall and Destruction All-Stars. So that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.